serious, Mr. Speaker. They are so serious that if the Honorable Fatuma Gedi is able to substantiate, they can even take us to the provisions of Article 94. And in those provisions, sub-Article 5, the question of removal of the Deputy Speaker for breach of the Constitution is to be initiated in this House. The Deputy President, sorry. If the substantiation was so clear that we said we don't just want to stop there, we actually want to initiate the removal, then what will the Speaker do? It puts you in great difficulty. And there's one more, Mr. Speaker. The provisions of Article 90 on conflict of interest, we are all required to disclose conflict of interest. And conflict of interest is described to include personal relationship. We know that you have a personal relationship now with the Deputy President. Is the Speaker required to disclose that as a member? Well, I will use the words of the standing order, personal, and it can extend to political. Mr. Speaker, it includes for both now and for future, where a Speaker has chosen to take side, because it's unprecedented. We know we all have political affiliations, but like a judge, it's assumed that once you occupy that office, then those affiliations do not come to the fore. But when they come to the fore for futuristic purposes, rather than historical, then it means there's an issue of conflict. How does the substantive Speaker handle this? Mr. Speaker, I'd like you to give guidance, because I know you can remove yourself from that situation of conflict temporarily, and give clear guidance for present and for future on this very unprecedented situation. Mr. Speaker, thank you.
No, honourable members, these are not very difficult issues. I don't need assistance on this. Fortunately, I want to begin from, so that I'll respond to all those ones. Now, honourable members, this is the answer. You know, it's good so that Honourable Fatuma knows. She said she's going to substantiate, and the reason why she was not challenged to withdraw on the spot is because the matter is grave. Yeah. Otherwise, the standing order that you read would have demanded that she withdraws on the moment, because the substantiation should be instantaneous for those that have been here or that have cared to follow the standing orders properly. But I've taken, this is the answer of 2 days ago. The Honorable Fatuma Gedi is recorded as having said, Honorable Speaker, give me 2 days, and I will bring details on how William Ruto has grabbed land in this country. This is what is the answer shows. The Speaker said, very well, Honorable Fatuma, you are the one who has undertaken to provide evidence. Do not listen to those giving you stories, because several members were trying to interject and tell her some other things. But to what I am saying, ordinarily, we do not allow people to say they will provide evidence after 2 days. When you say something here, you are expected to have materials, but given the gravity of what you have said, I will allow you, therefore, Thursday, 14th April 2022 at 2:30 p.m., we expect Honorable Fatuma Gedi to substantiate. It's only fair that we allow her time to provide the material she has alluded to. And some honourable members are shown to have said all parcels of land that she has mentioned. And the Speaker says, Honourable Fatuma, you say that you will provide evidence. You talked about Taita Taveta, Laikipia, and even Wajir. Can you go on record? And Honourable Fatuma, and she said, and we said, I told members not to put words into her mouth. Honourable Fatuma Gedi is shown to have said, Honourable Speaker, I'll provide on the following, Langata Primary, Taita Taveta, Laikipia, and Muteshi. And the record shows that I asked, what is Muteshi? The Honourable Fatuma, she says, Honourable Speaker, it is a 100-acre piece of land. That is what Muteshi is. Loud consultations followed. Then I asked, where? The Honourable Fatuma says, Muteshi. Honourable the Speaker goes on to say, there is no place called Muteshi in Kenya. Honourable members, the Honourable Fatuma is serious about what she is saying. It's only fair that I do not, it is only that I do not know. I know the geography of this country, but I do not know of any part called Muteshi. And Honourable Fatuma said, let me clarify. And I told her, yes, please proceed. He says, Honourable Speaker, you already ruled that on Thursday I should bring evidence. Muteshi is land which belonged to the late Muteshi and is in Trans Nzoia. And I asked, in Trans Nzoia? The Honourable Fatuma says, yes. I say, very well. Honourable Fatuma is shown, Honourable Speaker, if you allow me, I'll bring the details on Thursday at 2:30 p.m. And I'm on record saying, thank you. And we agree that the Honourable Fatuma is doing that. And he didn't approach me and saying that she is going to do that. So that is clear from that point. Honourable members, not in anticipation, but as you know, I always have to go back to records and see how we have treated situations of this nature. An incident happened on the 27th of April in 1993. And it followed on something which had been there on 22nd. 22nd of April 1993, during the second reading of the Veterinary Surgeons Amendment Bill, the member for Kisumu Rural, the Honorable Professor Anyang' Nyong'o, rose on a point of order with the intention to adjourn debate on the bill for the House to discuss a matter of a claim that the Central Bank of Kenya was being robbed about 25 billion a week. He proceeded to table certain documents in support of the claim, albeit without the Speaker's consent. And therefore, on 27th of April, 1993, Speaker Kaparo observed that the member did not explain what the papers were about or the origins of the papers, and there are no signatures. The Speaker then ruled that the papers purportedly laid on the table of the House by the Honorable Anyang' Nyong'o could not be admitted into the records of the House for the reason that the member did not follow the procedure for laying papers as exemplified, as explained. He clarified that though restrictive, the guidance was meant to ensure that papers laid on the table are legitimate. On 10th of September 2009, that's the 10th Parliament, the then Minister for Justice, National Cohesion and Constitutional Affairs, the Honorable Martha Karua, tabled some documents relating to corruption allegations. After scrutinizing the document, the Speaker Marende ascertained that the documents were not signed, and on the 10th of September 2009, Speaker ruled that the documents were inadmissible and would not be allowed to go on the records of the House. Then on the 18th of January 2011, the then member for Juja, the Honorable William Kabogo, tabled 3 documents. One, a letter dated 20th of December 2010 from the same member addressed to the Minister of State for Provincial Administration and Internal Security and Acting Minister for Foreign Affairs, the late Professor George Saitoti. B, a document titled, in brackets, classified information in the United States. And C, a document which the Honorable Member described as dossier, containing the names of Honorable Members said to be involved in drug trafficking. Documents in order to establish their authenticity or otherwise and determine their admissibility. Among the considerations that the Speaker relied on included the requirement for signatures on the documents and some form of certification where a document other than the original has been tabled. Speaker Marende made the following directions on the 18th of January. A, with respect to the letter from the member for Juja, Speaker observed that the letter had been done on the member's letterhead. It bore the member's signature and was stamped as having been received by the Minister of State, Office of the President, on 20th of December 2009. With that, was admissible. B, with respect to the document titled Classified Information in the United States, the Speaker observed that the document appeared to have been downloaded from Wikipedia website a free online encyclopedia that contains articles not necessarily owned by anyone, and which allows any person to edit anonymously and post it as articles. The Speaker then ruled that the document was inadmissible on account that it was sourced from an unknown publisher. The source permits anonymous alteration of contents, and the article freely in the public domain was free in the public domain. And C, on the so-called dossier, Speaker ruled that the paper was inadmissible because he noted that the document, 1, was not dated, 2, had no indication of the author or whom it was addressed to, 3, bore a stamp appearing to be for Kenya Anti-Corruption Commission, KECC, without indicating the date when the stamp was imprinted on and by who, be expunged from the records of the House, and that all reference made thereto, the names of the honorable members in the context of the document be expunged from the records of the House. The fourth example, and I'm doing this out of abundance of caution, because I'll deal with the smaller issue. The one which was raised by the Honorable Tiende is fairly small. I'll just demonstrate. The fourth incident was, it's titled Kazi kwa Vijana, KKV program, 1st of November 2011. On the 26th of October 2011, the then Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Local Government, while issuing a statement during Prime Minister's time on the implementation of Kazi kwa Vijana, KKV program, tabled several documents which the Speaker undertook to examine before determining their admissibility or otherwise. On the 1st of November 2011, the Speaker admitted 2 of the documents, but ruled that 1 on the Kenya Portfolio Financial Management Supervision, June 2011, interim and unvalidated reports, in-depth review of 13th of September 2011, which was imprinted strictly confidential. They cited the following reasons for their inadmissibility. 1, it was not signed. 2, does not have a forwarding letter or detail of the author. 3, efforts to access it on World Bank website for validation were futile. And after scrutinizing the documents, the Speaker Marende then ascertained that the documents were not signed, and on 10th of September 2009, Speaker ruled that the documents were inadmissible and would not be allowed to go on the records of the House. Honourable members, there are several other examples that follow with regard to drug trafficking, many of them which have come to form the history. The summary of all this is as follows. By established practice and procedure of the House, in considering admissibility or authenticity or otherwise of a document tabled in the House, the Speaker examines if the following. If the document, 1, relates to the matter for which it has been tabled, 2, is signed, and if it's a government document by the authorized person or persons, 3, bears the emblem or logo of the institution. You know, it is important that I hope the member is listening, because this is a test by established practice. It is important that this is a test to be applied. 1, if the document relates to the matter for which it has been tabled. 2, is signed, and if it's a government document, by the authorized person or persons. 3, bears the emblem or logo of the institution, stroke person from which it originated, or coat of arms, in the case of a document from government agencies. 4, whether the document clearly indicates the author and the person to whom it is addressed. 5, whether the document discloses the origin, stroke source of it. 6, whether it bears certification where a document other than the original is being tabled. 7, if electronic, whether it has been obtained from a source that does not permit alteration of contents, in brackets, rule of admissibility of electronic documents, electronic evidence. And 8, if it relates to a claim made before the House or a committee, its content as a nexus with the claim, and finally, whether it is stamped and clearly indicates the person signing off the stamp. That is, insofar as the technical part is concerned. That is the checklist. Now, the Honorable Otiende Amolo has raised the issue of, and I think it is good that I can see a few other members present so that I can explain this point. I don't know of any speaker since independence who was ever elected as an independent in this House. All speakers, including myself, have been sponsored by political parties. And they have gone on to preside over the proceedings and affairs of the House, regardless of the sponsoring party. I may give a comparison. I start with our neighbors in Uganda. The Speaker of Uganda is an elected member of parliament and continues to serve as a member of the constituency to which they were elected, even as they continue to serve as speakers. 2, Tanzania. The Speaker of Tanzania is an elected member of parliament representing a constituency and continues to serve. In fact, it's an truism that in Tanzania, they almost invariably come from the CCM. They continue to serve as members of the constituencies in which they were elected, notwithstanding that those countries are multi-party democratic states. In the United Kingdom, the speakers are elected members of parliament representing constituencies, but they continue to serve those constituencies even as they continue to preside over the House of Parliament. Now that we adopted the presidential system, in the United States of America, the Speaker is a member of Parliament, of the House of Representatives. And if you want to jog, I may just jog your memories. During the time of President Bill Clinton, the Speaker was none other than Newt Gingrich. And many of you, if you care to read, you know the relationship between President Bill Clinton and Speaker Newt Gingrich, who was a Republican, while Bill Clinton was Democrat. During the time of President Obama, one of his terms, the Speaker, Republican from Wisconsin, Speaker Paul Ryan, who was a Republican. Many of you would recall that the issues that happened when President Obama brought the Affordable Health Care Bill before Congress. Now, honorable members, just the other day, I need, do I have to say, to remind you, President Trump, Republican, was serving when Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Democrat, was a speaker. And I'm sure you all know this. At least this does not happen in Kenya. That relationship, the relationship that we have seen with those speakers, it has not happened here in Kenya. I think, as a country, we should feel proud that we do not exhibit that level of partisanship that we have seen in that very, very, very well-developed democracy as the United States. Now, as to whether I have joined what formation, it's a political formation On the 31st, listen to this. On the 31st of August 2017, I had offered myself to run for the Speaker of the National Assembly under the sponsorship of the Jubilee Party. You honourable members are the ones who gave me the mandate. You are the ones who gave me the mandate. I did not hear you say that I need to disclose the relationship, whether personal, official, or political, I had with the leadership of the Jubilee Party. I think, honourable members, I appreciate that we are in very exciting times, but I think at this late hour in the day, you cannot challenge my impartiality. This is not a difficult matter. This is not a difficult matter. And I want to guide that the issue that Honorable Fatuma Gedi has raised, here surely is not even a matter that, what impartiality, for what purpose? I mean, what partiality? All that we need to do, the documents for Honorable Fatuma Gedi is going to table will be available for every member to look at. It therefore would be a travesty of justice on such monumental scales that I do not know that indeed all of you will see that they are authentic, and the Speaker rules they are not authentic. Speaker Muturi does not belong to that school. What is authentic will be authentic before your eyes as it will before mine. So honourable members, I want to tell you to relax. Just relax. I don't think, for me, this is very simple indeed. I mean, honourable members always table documents here, and we look at them, we say, surely, this is not admissible. If you get it from Wikipedia, like we've had in the case which was dealt with by the Honourable Speaker Marende. So, honourable members, there is really nothing. And even those who are saying, do this, do the other, honourable members, relax. Relax. Kenya is a multi-party democratic state. That is most important for all of us to appreciate. And therefore, when we come to this chamber, there is always the majority side and there's a minority side. In the previous dispensation, there was the government side and there was the opposition side. I have served on both sides, fortunately. So I've served on both sides of the divide. I don't think whether there is anything that can actually define this house that is before us this afternoon. Merely the mention of the Deputy President, I'm sure. I mean, even if it was a mention of whomever, all we need to do is follow our own rules. And there is no conflict, there is no interest. I have no interest. I have no interest in what is being tabled by the Honourable Fatuma. I do not know, save for what I have read she said she's going to table. So, honourable members, there is nothing there that we should worry about. I will continue to serve you for as long as you desire. Remember, you are my constituency. You are my constituents. So any of you is at liberty in the event that just like you are going to face on 9th of August. If any of you feels that this representative is not serving you to your satisfaction, you are at liberty to express yourself in the manner provided for both in Article 106 and in our standing orders. So, for honourable members, let's just relax. The Honourable Fatuma actually has approached me to allow her to bring some documents, and I have told her very well, please bring, because all of you need to see them. So, honourable members, just relax. There is nothing to worry about. This is a simple matter that we do every day. Very well. No, Honorable Junet, you know,
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the guidance you have given us. We stand guided, Mr. Speaker. Having said, Mr. Speaker, that Mr. Speaker, as the whip of the minority, Mr. Speaker, and we have in this House, we have no one else to address other than the Speaker, Mr. Speaker, and that's the rule. Mr. Speaker, the issue you have just raised is a very weighty matter, Mr. Speaker, with the minority side. Mr. Speaker, you have put facts very clear, and we agree with you, that it is true speakers are sponsored by parties, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I remember in 2013, we sponsored Marende as the minority, and we were defeated in this House by Jubilee, Mr. Speaker. That time it was Jubilee coalition. But Mr. Speaker, also, recently, new development happened, Mr. Speaker. And you know, we are in the season of politics. Everyone has a constitutional right to join any political formation he wants. Mr. Speaker, in the last election, you were also sponsored by Jubilee Party. But Mr. Speaker, the records that are now available politically at the registrar of political parties is that you are the party leader of the Democratic Party, Mr. Speaker. And now that is not Jubilee that sponsored you, Mr. Speaker. And you have formed a coalition with Kenya Kwanza, Mr. Speaker, which is another formation outside Jubilee, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we have never doubted your impartiality. That I can say it on record. We have never so far, until when we saw in a hotel in Karen, Mr. Speaker, signatures and ceremony happening, you signing as the party leader of the Democratic Party, Mr. Speaker, we started now feeling that surely we might not get a fair treatment in the House, Mr. Speaker. There might be no impartiality, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you are a man who has so much fidelity to the Constitution. I can say that also without fear, because I have served under you or with you in this House for 10 years now, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, issues that are raised here in this House, Mr. Speaker, are issues that anywhere, you cannot raise it anywhere else, Mr. Speaker. We cannot speak in burials, in funerals, in rallies, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the issues raised by Honorable Otiende Omolo, Mr. Speaker, as you have captured them well, Mr. Speaker, are issues that are going to affect us for the remaining period of this House, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if now you are the leader of the Democratic Party and a member of the Kenya Kwanza coalition, Mr. Speaker, and you are sponsored by Jubilee Party as the Speaker, Mr. Speaker, how are you going to balance those interests, Mr. Speaker? Because the people who are supporting you now and cheering you here, Mr. Speaker, are not even people of Jubilee, Mr. Speaker. These are UDA members, Mr. Speaker. These are Kenya Kwanza members, Mr. Speaker. These are the ones who are cheering you, Mr. Speaker. I don't know for what reason. Do they think that you are a speaker for now Kenya Kwanza? I don't know why Duale is so happy to when you are talking, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is in my view, Mr. Speaker, I have said, Mr. Speaker, and I am very happy that you've given us time to express and ventilate what we think, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we want to continue the House being handled the way it has been handled for the last 9 years under your leadership, Mr. Speaker. We are only worried that going forward now, Mr. Speaker, now that the political dynamics have changed, Honorable Fatuma Gedi has raised weighty issues, as Honorable Otiende has said, that can lead even to the impeachment of the Deputy President, Mr. Speaker, if they are proved the allegations to be true, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, how do we feel? Are we safe in this House, Mr. Speaker, that we can continue conducting our business under, I am told, rumor has it that, Mr. Speaker, you're even being proposed to be the running mate of the Deputy President, Mr. Speaker. Rumor has it, Mr. Speaker. Rumor has it, Mr. Speaker. We support all that, Mr. Speaker. We have no problem with that, Mr. Speaker, honestly speaking. But, Mr. Speaker, this House must be impartial. This House must be conducted, and you are the custodian of the standing orders, Mr. Speaker. It is you who applies the standing orders in this House against us, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I don't know whether the rule of impartiality and fair, natural justice, fairness will be accorded to us as the minority, Mr. Speaker, of this House, and whether Honorable Fatuma Gedi will get fair treatment and judgment on the issues that he has raised, Mr. Speaker. Those are the issues, Mr. Speaker, that is worrying us, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
You know, now, honourable members, you know, that kind of behavior now, surely, you know, when you start yelling like that, because that's surely, somebody is yelling. How is it that we are going to, you see, impartiality is not determined by which party you belong to. It must be new. You must be able to demonstrate it. And I don't know what it is that shows that it has not been demonstrated. Now, honourable members, you know, I don't want us to, you know, the Honourable Fatuma Gedi was going to, no, please. Yeah, but you know, 2 minutes each. But honourable members, before I allow you, honourable members, those of you who feel that they are, you know, if you feel that the Speaker is not sufficiently impartial, please, because the Speaker who is before you is unwilling to resign. Take it now, yes, we can take the bank. Please, look at the provisions of Article 106 of the Constitution. Yes, so don't, I mean, there's no need. I mean, it's not the first time that I have been sponsored. Even in 2013, I was sponsored by a party. We have worked with so many of you in very many, I don't know, in many endeavors. So let's not get carried away by the things happening around the country. Honorable Duale.
Mr. Speaker, let me add my voice to what is going on this afternoon. And Mr. Speaker, within the reading of Article 106 of the Constitution on speakers and deputy speakers of Parliament, Mr. Speaker, you have not committed any crime by being a member of the Kenya Kwanza coalition, by being member of the party leader of the Democratic Party of Kenya. Your removal is well stipulated, Mr. Speaker, in Article 106, sub-article 2, A, B, C, and D. And all these allegations, Mr. Speaker, are not there, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, the procedure for the removal of a speaker is known to every member. And Mr. Speaker, let me be very clear that even in other jurisdictions, like the US, and more importantly, the most important house in the US, the Senate, the Speaker of the Senate, the Speaker, they don't want to listen to. The Speaker of the US Senate is always the Deputy President or the Vice President. And when he or she sits there currently, because it's a woman, she sits there to make a neutral determination. Mr. Speaker, secondly and more fundamentally, I want to confirm to you that there is no minority in this House. The minority has gone to bed. I haven't finished. You don't need to. It's the Speaker.
You know?
The Speaker, since February 2019, and the people of Kenya can attest to, 2018, there's no minority. The minority went to bed with some remnants of Jubilee, small group of about 25 or so. So, Mr. Speaker, you cannot speak from both sides. You cannot be, Honorable Junaid cannot be in government, and when it is convenient for him, he says he wants fairness. It's fairness. The Speaker, you know, I respect elders.
Now, very well. Now, Honorable Angwenyi. That is, why are you getting agitated? I want to give one chance to Honorable Charles Kilonzo. Then the rest we proceed with the business. Honorable Millie, before the Honorable Charles Kilonzo speaks, just a minute. Sergeant at Arms, can you open the suitcase to confirm that whatever is in there? No, just a minute. This is we administer the standing orders as you have put past them. A briefcase cannot just be brought into the chamber here. It needs to be confirmed. What are you telling me? Well, even when we admit, let the sergeant, that's the sergeant at arms to check, please. Honorable Charles Kilonzo, you will? Yes.
Mr. Speaker, if I have your ears, Mr. Speaker, as we always say, this is a house of rules, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah.
And I want to invite you, Mr. Speaker.
We are saying yes, what? But what decorum did you display now? What are you? You are a member of parliament. Honorable Angwenyi. You see, Honorable Jimmy Angwenyi. No. You know, you honorable members, you are the ones who are getting agitated for nothing. Then the honorable only one member can speak.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Can we allow the Honorable Charles Kilonzo to speak?
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Ken Chonga, don't get agitated. Let him speak. Let him speak.
No, sit.
Honorable
Mr. Speaker.
No. Now.
Can you sit down? Sit down. You obstruct. You are blocking me.
Honorable Gogo, let the member for Yata make his point.
Mr. Speaker, this is a house of rules.
He's on a point of order.
Mr. Speaker, this is a house of rules guided by the standing orders, Mr. Speaker. And I want to invite all of us, Mr. Speaker, to standing order number 87. Mr. Speaker, if you look at standing order number 87, what we are about to do by tabling those documents is against our own rules. And Mr. Speaker, it is very important, whatever side of political divide you are, we stick to the rules in as much as what you are doing is likely to favor your side. What I'm saying, Mr. Speaker, being even a staunch believer in Azimio, what we are doing here is against our own standing rules. And standing order number 87, Mr. Speaker, is very clear. It says, Mr. Speaker, neither the personal conduct of the president, nor the conduct of the speaker or the judge, it goes on, or even a government, a state officer or representative and so on, whose removal from the office depends on the decision of this House, Mr. Speaker, cannot be mentioned adversely, Mr. Speaker. That is stated very clear. So what we are doing here, Mr. Speaker, Tomorrow, the other side will come up with their own documents and allege the president has done the following. So, Mr. Speaker, what I'm saying is by allowing the particular member to table those documents, we are already floating our standing orders, Mr. Speaker. It requires a motion under 3 days' notice. There is no motion before the House, even to table the documents, Mr. Speaker. I invite you to look at standing order number 87.
No, honor members, it's not about honor members now. You know, what we are doing is actually dilatory, because the member made an allegation on the floor of the House, and when she was challenged, she said she was going to substantiate. That's what she's doing. Now we are, by introducing all these dilatory motions, you are preventing her from discharging the obligation that she undertook to discharge today. Honorable Fatuma Gedi. Point of order. Point of order. Now the member is she's on a point. No, she's on a point of order. Now I'm not allowed. Point of order, Mr. Speaker. She is the one who is going to. She is on a point of order, Honorable Wanga. Preliminary. You know, you don't want her to. Now you see this. You can see now everybody appears to be on their own. Yes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, preliminarily, Honorable Speaker, I would like to request you that as Honorable Gedi rises to table this very, very important documents, because today is a historic day, because we will see where somebody got a nickname from.
Please, now, Honorable Wanga. What is your point of order?
Order.
Now,
yeah, Honorable Speaker, my point of order is that there is a habit that when this kind of important motion is going on, a lot of interruptions will come up from people who feel, rather than letting Honorable Gedi finish her statement, they want to interrupt her as a strategy for not letting this matter go to the public. So, Honorable Speaker, I just wanted to request for your protection so that she does it and finishes it.
The Honorable Fatuma Gedi is protected.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I'd like to make a statement in response to my assertions during the afternoon sitting of Tuesday, April 11, 2022, accordance with the Standing Order 91 and the Speaker ruling. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to bring to the light matter that needs careful consideration, this House and the wonderful Kenyan voters who will have sacred mandate to elect
Honorable Fatuma Gedi.
their leaders.
Let me just help you. You know, there's really no speech. No speech. It is just to bring the documents here.
No.
Please.
Mr. Speaker,
Please.
I beg, Mr. Speaker, I'm here in the background.
I'm the one on the chair. Honorable Fatuma Gedi. Just, it's the documents. There, you say, Honorable Fatuma Gedi. Proceed.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, this matter is very, very critical, and I must put the name. I will not share the document, and I have to substantiate and table the evidence, Mr. Speaker.
You know, Honorable Fatuma.
If you allow me, Mr. Speaker.
Fatuma, you know the thing is this, and you know it. I hope nobody is going to, because everybody seems to have completely forgotten their rules. You bring a document, we look at it, we tell you, yes, I have already read to you what has been. Honorable Maura, you are not going to teach, you are not teaching me what happens here. Honorable Fatuma Gedi, you know, you are going, what you can say is this, because I send this explain, then table this. You go to the other one, you table. Proceed that way.
Mr. Speaker, if you allow me, that's what I'm doing. I have to explain what I'm tabling. I have to explain and table. And please me give the time.
You know.
Mr. Speaker, in the respect.
Member Bokisi, please.
In that respect.
Don't do that kind of jig in the house. That kind of jig you did is not good for the house.
Mr. Speaker, in accordance with the provision of Standing Order 91, you are ruling during Tuesday afternoon. I wish to communicate to this House that I have gathered enough material evidence to substantiate my position that we are not safe in the hands of Kenya Kwanza presidential candidate. And he has the impeccable records of land grabbing and the use of his position of influence to intimidate even children, Mr. Speaker. I have the pictures I will table of Langata Primary School children being tear gassed by police officers. The horror and the nightmare of the Adrian Muteshi at the hand of William Ruto. Honorable Speaker, let me begin with substantiation. Let me.
No, please. Let her. She was looking for the document. You know, she said, when you say one thing, exactly, that's the way to go about. Yes. No. Please, Honorable Fatuma, you are doing well.
Yes.
But now after that, you needed to show the document.
Mr. Speaker, I mentioned about the photographs, and I'm going to table of children being tear gassed. And it's there. Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, let me begin with the substantiation of my assertion that William Ruto grabbed the belonging to Adrian Muteshi, a parcel of land, 33 Tapsogoi, of which Albert was given vacant possession in 1968, subsequently raised with a deed was issued on 17th March 1989. Honorable Speaker, let me narrate the ordeal of the innocent Kenya went through in the hands of William Ruto and his cooperations, Adrian Muteshi. Like many of us, was an ordinary Kenyan of the modest means. In 1968, he bought a farm in Turbo West in Uasin Gishu district, situated in Mutembei scheme. The land had permanent self-contained 6-bedroom house, staff quarters, store, just like any typical rural home. No. The whole property, including the farm he sat on 100 acres piece of land, which he supports his purchase in court, the late Adrian produced an application by himself to the Ministry of Land.
No. Honor members.
The evidence is here.
What is this? Please. No. Honor Fatuma. Now, honor members, we will not proceed this way. When Honorable Fatuma says that this document to prove this, please allow her to bring the document, because Honorable Media of Yamba, are you the one tabling documents? Honorable Junet, are you the one tabling the documents? Surely. You see, the Sergeant at Arms is here to help not you, please. You don't know about the documents. So produce, just give the documents. Honourable members, it is not your business to authenticate, to rule on authenticity. So let her bring the documents. So you talked about Langata, bring the document on Langata. Is that the one on Langata? What? No, which is the one on Langata? What is this? Surely. What is this? Honour members, please. Honourable Fatuma Gedi, please. I think let's try to, as much as possible, don't bring emotions into this matter. What? Is this the one on, there's the one plain Adrian Gilbert Muteshi? Yeah? No, just no. Honour members. You can never sway me that way. I'm never swayed that easily. No, so it is a document of ownership. Or you want me to use the judgment?
No, I want to be on record. Mr. Speaker, the document you have.
Yes. No.
Mr. Speaker, no. I have to finish. I am not the Speaker.
Please, just relax. Can you relax? Now, Honourable, what is wrong with this one? Honourable Millie Odhiambo, please. And I'm not, no, you cannot make it impossible for even, I'm trying to get what Honourable Fatuma is tabling. You are almost singing. I don't know. Surely. No. But you see, Honourable Millie, I thought you should be the first one to really want us to conclude this, because you have some other business which you have already approached me about. Now, why don't we complete this one? Eh? So, Honourable Fatuma Gedi. So, is this the one you?
Mr. Speaker, you have 3 documents.
Yeah.
One is the statement I have.
This is one of them.
Number 2 is the court ruling.
The judgment?
On the judgment, sorry.
The High Court judgment.
The High Court judgment. Number 3, you have
National Land Commission.
National Lands Commission's report. And allow me, Mr. Speaker, to finish one by one, then I table. Allow me to finish. Yeah, take me slowly.
Honourable Fatuma Gedi. Honourable Fatuma Gedi.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
So, no, honourable members, no, those ones cannot help you. They don't even understand the procedures of the House. Honourable Fatuma, you have given me these 3 documents. Now look at the grandfather of the House is saying 1. The Honourable Fatuma Gedi has actually said, and there are 3. Yeah. So you see, you are shouting 1, but she has, you know, if you don't listen, you know, I can see you are in a different world. Honourable Fatuma.
No, let her table all of them. Let you make a ruling.
Yes. Please. Don't guide me. Don't guide me. I know what's supposed to be done. The Honourable Fatuma, you see, Honourable Fatuma, I think you have given me the 3 documents.
Sure.
Indeed, I want to confirm once again what you said. What is on Hansan? So you said Langata Primary. It says document, isn't it?
No, I still have it here. You only have Muteshi's.
The judgment.
Yes, only.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm supposed to, Speaker, deal with all the...
Just
Mr. Speaker, why I wanted me to do my submissions, at the end of the submissions, I tabled evidence, one by one. So what you have is Muteshi. You don't have Langata Primary yet, I have it here. So allow me to finish on Muteshi, I move to Langata Primary, then I submit the evidence.
But Honorable Fatuma, what you are telling me you want to finish with the Muteshi is this court judgment.
But I'm doing my submissions,
Are you suggesting
Mr.
that you
Speaker.
want to summarize the judgment for me to understand or to...
For me, for my submissions, Mr. Speaker.
What submission?
Allow me to finish.
What submission?
I have my points here, yeah. Allow me to finish.
What submission?
On that case, I have to substantiate, Mr. Speaker.
No, but
And put...
No, Honorable Fatuma. You are not substantiating about the case. You are just, you talked about Muteshi, and you say you have...
Mr. Speaker, so do you want me to table everything without talking? Should I just sit?
Honorable Fatuma Gedi, please. No, Honorable Fatuma Gedi, you are the one, these others who are telling you this or the other, they are not the ones who made the commitment. You are the one who made the commitment about the documents you are going to bring. So you are going to table a document on these three. That's what we want. Yes. No. Don't give us other needs. Proceed. No. Let her finish. Now. What speech?
Mr. Speaker, the sale is... Okay. Mr. Speaker, the sale agreement and the loan agreement which he had borrowed to aid his purchase as evidence of the purchase of the now grabbed land, and upon which the court relied to find in his favor. After the purchase, he was given